day to all of you. Have you ever tried borrowing or lending money? Or perhaps utang money? Has the person lending you money ever applied interest on the money you borrowed and you don't know what it means or how it works? Well, worry not, because I'm here today to explain to you simple and compound interest.
What is a loan or loaning? The term loan refers to a type of credit vehicle in which a sum of money is lent to another party in exchange for future repayment of the value or principal amount. Before we start, let us know these important terms that will help us understand the topic further. Definition of terms: lender or creditor is a person or institution who invests the money or makes the funds available. Borrower or debtor is a person or institution who owes the money or avails the funds from the lender. Origin or loan date: the date on which money is received by the borrower. Repayment date or maturity date: the date on which the money borrowed or loaned is to be completely repaid. Time or term: amount of time in years the money is borrowed or invested. Length of time between the origin and maturity dates. Principal or present value: it is the amount of money borrowed or invested on the origin dates. Rates of interest or simply rate: annual rate, usually in percent, charged by the lender or rate of increase of the investment. Interest: amount paid or earned for the use of money. Maturity value or future value: amount after years that the lender receives from the borrower on the maturity date, equal to the sum of principal and the interest earned. What is a simple interest? Simple interest is the method to calculate the amount of interest charged on a sum at a given rate and for a given period of time. In simple interest, the principal amount is always the same. You may use this triangle as a guide to easily remember the different formulas used in solving for simple interest. Just cover what you need to solve for, and the remaining letters is your guide on what to use in order to solve for the missing item. For example, you're looking for interest. Cover the letter I, which stands for interest, and you're left with P or T, which is the formula for interest. If the given time is in months, it can be converted to years by using this formula. It is needed for us to use years, which is why we need to compute and divide the months provided in the question by 12. For us to further understand how to solve, here are some examples. Example 1. Guard Pio invested 9,000 pesos in a bank account with a simple interest rate of 3% per year. How much interest will he earn after 6 years? In this problem, we are asked to solve for interest with 9,000 pesos as our principal. Our rate is 3% and the time given is 6 years. We can solve this with the formula I is equals to P times R times T. Let us now try to solve this problem. Example number 2. Sir Billy invested 4,800 pesos in a small business at a simple interest rate of 4% per year. How long will it take for Sir Billy's investment to earn 960 pesos in interest? For this problem, we're looking for the time, therefore, we will use the formula T is equals I over PR. Example number 3. Mommy Do borrowed 11,000 from her friend and paid 5,800 in interest after 2 years. What was the annual simple interest rate on Mommy Do's loan? For example number 3, the rate is missing. Our principal is 11,000 pesos. Our interest is 5,800 pesos. And the time given is 2 years. To find the rate, we will use the formula R is equals to I over PT. Example number 4. After 7 years, Geoffrey's account earned 4,200 pesos in interest from an investment with a simple interest rate of 6% per year. What was Geoffrey's initial investment? In this example, we can see that the principal is missing. The interest given in the problem is 4,200 pesos. The time is 7 years and we have a rate of 6%. To find the principal, we use the formula P is equals I over RT. Maturity value is the amount to be paid on the due date of a loan or the amount to be paid to an investor at the end of the period for which an investment has been made. Maturity value can be expressed in the following formula, where M is the maturity value, P is the principal, and I is the interest. Example number 5. So for the maturity value of examples number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now that we have finished discussing about simple interest, let us now talk about compound interest. Compound interest is interest that applies not only to the initial principal of an investment or a loan, but also to be accumulated interest from previous periods. In other words, compound interest involves earning or owing interest on your interest. Before I introduce the formula, let us once again take a look at these terms that would guide us as we solve. Compound amount, also called maturity value. It is an accumulated amount obtained by adding the principal and the compound interest. Conversion period, the number of times in a year the interest will be compounded. The following are the common conversion periods in a year. Number of conversion periods. The total number of times interest is calculated for the entire term of the investment or loan. Annual interest rate or nominal rate, the stated rate of interest per year. Periodic rate, the interest rate per conversion period. Present value of F, this is the principal P that will accumulate to F if there is an interest at periodic rate for conversions. There are also 5 formulas for compound interest that would help us in solving. These are, now that we have finished introducing the formulas that we will be using for compound interest, let us try to solve. Example number 1. Ronald invests 3,800 pesos in a bank account with an annual compound interest rate of 7%. How much will the investment be worth after 3 years compounded annually? In this example, we are asked to look for the compound amount or the maturity value. Our principal value in this problem is 3,800 pesos. Time given is 3 years, the rate is 7%, and it is compounded annually. So, we will use 1. To solve for this example, we will use the formula. Example number 2. At what rate of interest will 950,000 pesos accumulate to 1 million pesos if it is compounded bi-monthly for 3 years? In this problem, we have to look for the rate. Our principal is 950,000 and our future value is 1 million pesos. The time given is 3 years and it is compounded bi-monthly. Therefore, we use 6 for the conversion period. To solve for this problem, we will use the formula R is equals to example number 3. Mark wants to raise 50,000 pesos in 4 years. How much should he save to have the amount if he deposits it in a bank account that pays 15% compounded monthly? For this example, our missing is the principal, so we have to solve for that using the formula where F is 50,000 pesos, rate is 15%, time is 4 years, and conversion rate is 12 because it is compounded monthly. Example number 4. How long should Matt invest his money amounting to 70,000 pesos so that this becomes 150,000 pesos at 4% compounded semi-annually? To solve for this problem, we will use the formula since we are looking for the time. The principal is 70,000 pesos and the future value in this problem is 150,000 pesos. The rate is 4% and it is compounded semi-annually, so we will use 2 for the conversion period. Example number 5. So for the compound interest of examples number 1, 2, 3, and 4. To solve for the compound interest, we simply have to subtract the future value and principal. Now that we have finished solving for compound interest, we have officially finished learning simple and compound interest. Great job in making it this far into the video. I hope that you were able to learn something new and enjoyed understanding the lesson. Thank you for watching.